What's up, everyone? Dem Boys back at it. So I wanted to give y'all a fire passing scheme in the Oakland Raiders playbook that can complement our run scheme. So what I did was I took and formulated an offense completely and totally around a few different glitches. So let's get right into it. This is going to be absolute fire for y'all. Alright, so the formation we're going to use here is going to be spread Y flex. You're going to want to go ahead with your subs, get your strong slot package in. Then what I do is I get Randy Moss out here with streak specialist and curl comeback elite, alright? That's huge for this because that's really the glitch we're going to utilize. Then what I do is, since it's strong slot, I'm going to go ahead and have Calvin Johnson over here, and I want to have streak specialist on him. Whatever else you have for your offense and what you run, whatever, those are just the things that you really need to make this scheme pop. And I should say, you could still run this in regs without this stuff. It will still work. That's just the best way to make it work. Alright. So, what we're going to do is we're going to come out and we're going to get the jet touch pass set up in our audibles. If ever they come screaming at you, you're going to go ahead and audible into that and smoke their blitz. The only thing I would say is if it's like a nickel blitz and they have someone blitzing wide, you know, that they're leaving out wide in the slot coming in, go ahead and flip the play so you're running opposite side. And I will give you some motions within the pass game that look the same as that so we can really kind of throw people off. But the primary play we're going to call here is drive. So, first, because the Patriots' offensive line's no good, I don't want to get shedded. What we're going to do is we're going to take Y, and we're going to go ahead and put him on a hitch. Doesn't matter what side of the field, hash marks you're on, doesn't matter. All right, you can run this offense anywhere. I'll take and block my running back just to avoid any shed, just to give me a little more time, because it does take a little bit to develop. But you could leave him on the check and release as well. Now, when I'm setting this up, I'm going to take A and put him on a go. And again, we have streak specialist, so we can try to hit him up the seam. Then B is either going to stay on this drag. If it looks like a cover 3, I might go ahead and put him on an out. Or potentially even a dig like that. Alright, so those are going to be my setups that you can utilize without Hot Route Master. So that's a pretty common one if I'm looking at cover 3. Just because A can turn into a beater up the seam if they're playing match and the corner kind of stays down on B, you can pass lead that out against cover 3. You can potentially hit B if they're, you know, I mean, obviously we know what that does, right? So let's go ahead and focus on Y and X. So that's just what's going to happen. Guy just drops down on the hitch. And that's why I like having the curl comeback elite, because if you have a good user who can click on, I don't like low pointing that because I don't want the guy to jump up and still pick it right. So you have someone with a really good user, they might be able to click on and create some contact at the catch point. So that's why we're going to have that. So another glitch that we're going to go ahead and base this offense around is, of course, the swerve streak, right? We can go ahead and hit him with that. So what I'm going to do is take X, put him on a go. Now you have a few options. We'll take RB and we'll block him. You can take and just set up streaks and just leave it like this if you don't have Hot Route Master. Ideally, you would have Playmaker on B or QB Playmaker, and then, you know, you're just simply creating a clear out. So you have options, right? You can look up each seam and try to shoot up the seam. You can go ahead and try to moss him for the touchdown if that stuff's kind of taken away. Then you have B, which you can playmaker or just throw him, you know, obviously on the little drag. So another setup that I would do to try to set this up if I have Hot Route Master is what we're going to do, and even if I don't have Hot Route Master, you could really just go ahead and set it up like this. Bloop, no Hot Route Master needed. Reason being is the guy who's over here in the purple could very well end up like this, right? Go into double team to watch that streak. Well, if that that happens, what do we got? Tons of free space, right? We got tons of free space for Y. You could even take Y and, you know, hot route him, do something like that if you wanted to try to get a little more room in the clear out. And then again, if all that's kind of taken away, you have A on the backside where you can try to pass lead him in and A catch that up the seam. Again, you would have B. You could playmaker B if you have that ability as well into the offense. So if I have Hot Route Master, another setup that I can utilize would simply just look like this. And then we can take Y and boop. So there you go. Very difficult to cover all of that. So you kind of just make your reads across. So I'm going to start with X. If I think I can go ahead and moss him, I'm mossing him. Otherwise, I'll hit Y. If somebody jumps over and fills in that area, I'm going to start looking at A. Odds are A is going to be wide open at that point. If there's a mid-read or something, you know, getting back on him, well, then B is going to have to come open underneath that, right? So you really just kind of work your way back across the field making your reads with this type of a setup. So the last little glitchy thing that I want to show you here is also potentially a really good way to set up mossing somebody if they haven't seen that yet. So if I know somebody's bailing out, so I look at you, I'm like, yep, this dude's in a cover 3. The corner over X is absolutely bailing out. That's what it is. Set up whatever, however you want, doesn't much matter. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go ahead and low point pass lead out and A catch it with X. Boom. Free couple of yards, right? So very frequently you'll have people come in and this will then be the response. So then I'm just going to try to moss them. I'll see if it works without Streak Specialist. Well, I know it does, if I can do it perfect. Nope. You get the idea though, right? So that's going to be a really good little 1-2 punch. So the last part of this offense, I told you I was going to give you some motions that are going to play off of our jet touch pass. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to take and motion A across. Now A is going to either go on a cross. You could, do something like that, going across on the backside. You could put A on a post. You could leave A on something like this, or B, on something like this. You could put B on an out, a short out, like that. If you're not really even looking for the comeback and you think someone might be kind of cheating, if they're a user in the high safety and you think you can get them to go ahead and follow your crosser, right? You could set up something like this even, potentially. Not that I would do that often, but... So this would just kind of be a general idea, something you could do. Go ahead and low point that in over there, A catch it. So let's go ahead and roll that in-game footage, and let's start with fools getting bombed.
I said, nah, y'all haters don't make it like that. Man, I'm out here breaking my back. Since I was young, I double my stacks. Haters wanna jag. I said, they trying to tax. When you make it like that, I make it like that. Ain't nothing but facts. Just look at my stats. I said, First off, to my fans, you know I love y'all. Pointing out on my haters with my middle finger like, fuck y'all. Y'all still on the bus route, but I'm better celebrate in my city when I score the winning touchdown. Bet you give a fuck now, didn't be for it now. When I come around, my pockets looking chunky like I gained 800 pounds. AP, I run the town, shut it down this whole state. Yeah, the Midwest, it ain't safe. Me, I'm headed straight to the bank. Right from the gate, I can cipher for days. Spit this shit right in your face. Eat or die with my slice of the cake. Chiefs my title, I'm surfing the waves. Hustle, try by purchase the name. Taking back my land. Look at how much turf in the game. Since y'all talk that shit when you heard my name, get on my dick. Wave me and my tribe dance. Make it rain like a Florida hurricane. It's been that way since the early days. I said, nah, y'all haters don't make it like that. Man, I'm out here breaking my back. Since I was young, I double my stacks. Haters wanna jag. I said, they trying to tax. When you make it like that, I make it like that. Ain't nothing but facts. Just look at my stats. I said, yeah, I'm going against the statistics. The way that I flip shit, just listen. I grew up with some misfits. Like say, bitch, give a stiff dick. Never thought I'd be this big, but I nitpick through the bass. Hard as pavement, watch these kicks flip. Yeah, these rappers bunch of dipshits. When I spit this, they probably...
All right, man. Thank y'all so much for checking this out, as always, hop over to Facebook, check out Madden Genius. That's the group that's going to be huge for Madden 21. It's just a community for folks to ask and answer questions. That's the genius. So the more people we got, the more genius it is. So slide over there. Beyond that, like, comment, most importantly, subscribe. We are right there knocking on the door of 1K. Thank you guys so much. I know there's plenty of y'all that watch this that haven't subscribed, so please go hit that subscribe button. Man, let's get your boy paid, all right? Damn boys. Peace.